G'day everyone, today I'm up at Torrumbarry for the Gunbower BioBlitz. Today's event is the release of the once extinct zombie fish, otherwise known as the purple spotted gudgeon. So stick around to find out more about that fish. But firstly, let's have a bit of a look around the Torrumbarry Weir.
These little threatened small-bodied stuff, like they just weren't considered a priority back in the day, sort of. But now we're starting to learn how important these guys are in the system. I mean, it's a perfect example, really, isn't it? They designed a fishway that didn't allow for the passage of these small-bodied stuff.
So when you say how important they are to the system, can you explain why they are so important?
Yeah, well, they're just got a vital role in the food chain. So that all the bigger fish would eat these guys. All the important sort of migratory birds that come through, you know, these internationally significant wetlands would eat these fish. And I mean, these just absolutely explode when the conditions are right. So it's a really vital food source, and just, you know, in the ecology of the area, there's a missing link that's been gone from the system for so long. So yeah, they're really important in the.
You've got like, you know, juvenile carp and stuff filling that void at the moment.
Yeah.
Whereas these little guys are quite predatory. Purple spotted gudgeons, they'll eat anything that's, you know, the same size or less than them.
Yeah.
You put them in a fish tank, and you know, they go around and pick everything else off.
Like
Really, baby carp?
Like a little Murray cod.
They're like
and eggs too, I think.
They're pelagic. They hang out in the middle. They're like a big shark, but on a very small scale. But they're similar. They're the sort of the apex predator of the tiny fish world. Yeah.
So all these little fish, are they shorter-lived and very fast breeding?
They are. Yeah, that's their
Exactly,
strategy.
exactly.
So you know, 2-3 years.
So is
most
that
of these
about
guys.
size?
They get to about this size, about 12 centimetres. So it's not far off.
Yeah.
But yeah, they absolutely boom when the conditions are right. So theoretically, if we can get the right conditions when we put these guys in, they should do really well. They should breed up quite well and kick on their own.
And there's, you know, so many sites that are suitable for these around, you know, all through Gunbower Forest and through this part of the world.
Exactly.
But they love the wetland habitats, and they'll go wild, and then when it draws right down low, they're able to tolerate poor water quality, low dissolved oxygen, where other, you know, like, you know, cod or yellow belly stuff are, you know, are carping at. These guys hang on, that's their strategy.
Yeah,
so they're suitable for these wetland habitats, and then, you know, what we want to do is make sure we have backup populations. So part of this program is to work, you know, with captive breeders. So work with Melbourne Aquarium, work with an aquaculture farm over in East Gippsland, and we also work with state researchers, so Arthur Riley Institute. So we've got a captive breeding program for these guys in tanks, typical aquaculture, as one sort of backup strategy. The other one that we employ is using what we call surrogate habitats. So using farm dams and other sort of artificial sites where we can make sure there's permanent water quality, good water quality. There's the right type of habitat. So like the two species that we're focusing on so far are Pygmy Perch and purple spotted gudgeon, which we've both stocked in here. The Pygmy Perch really like the aquatic habitat. So lots of cover from predators, lots of, you know, aquatic plants. Out here's perfect. There's lots of milfoil out here. And the purple spotted gudgeons, they like lots of sticks and, you know, little small timber and little nooks and crannies that they can get into. So if we find farm dams that we can that have that habitat, or we can enhance them so they have that habitat, then we can stock these little guys in there and breed them up in these dams and have that as another insurance population. So we've got captive breeding, we've got nursery, we've got surrogate habitats, and then we can start looking at wild sites which is what we're doing here. So this is a bit of a riskier strategy. We don't really know whether like how long until we see success. It's a very large site, so it's hard to sort of detect them as well. But done a lot of work with researchers figuring out, you know, how many we need to put in, and yeah, the advice is to sort of focus on a site, use all your fish, you know, that are available, and stock one site sort of heavily to try and get it started, and that rather than putting, you know, 100 here, 100 there, 200 there. So all this sort of stuff is it's sort of real innovation. Everyone's sort of learning on the go. There's, you know, New South Wales, South Australia, us in Victoria, everyone's sort of working together to try and recover these small-bodied fish species and learning on the run. And we're gonna have a forum in May next year. We're bringing sort of the pause, everyone bring all their information together, get it written up, and start, you know, making sure that other people have something to follow, so that science is a little bit more accessible for people. But that's our sort of program with these small-bodied fish. Yeah, we've got around 2,800 southern pygmy perch stocked in here, and then we've got around 800 purple spotted gudgeon. The plan of attack today is to pull some nets. So we've got some pike nets and we've got some bait traps in there. So Anthony and I will jump in the water, we'll retrieve those nets, and then we'll dump them out and we'll see what we've got and do a bit of fish ID. Hopefully we get a purple spot or a pygmy perch. It's a little bit hard with the scale of the site.
It is, yeah, it's a massive site. So
but we'll see how we go.
They could be doing extremely well in here and having an absolute
don't
ball,
catch
and we're not
Yeah.
catching any. So
Yeah.
that's just, but hopefully, you know, if we do get lucky and catch one today,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fantastic sign. So what we're really looking for is small ones, which we know would be recruits, and we know that they would have bred in here and that they're happy in here. But if we find some bigger ones, we know that they've put on some weight and that they're doing well. But
Yeah,
we may not find any. We'll see how we go, and hopefully we'll find something.
Yeah, so just when we moved them, they were just about to spawn. So heavily pregnant, big and fat.
And they came from you.
They came from some farm dams around Bendigo.
Oh, right.
Yep,
So that's the pygmy perch.
the pygmy perch. Yep.
Yep.
And so, you know, we put around sort of 3,000 in, and, you know, hopefully that's around, you know, 100, 200,000 in there. That would be, that's the hope.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
And there could be hundreds of thousands in there. We don't know. We just don't know.
The two types of nets that we normally use are bait traps, unbaited bait traps. So just your yabby nets. Use these because you can get them into areas that you can't get the bigger nets into. So when you're doing fish surveys, what you want to do is look at the site, work out, you know, what habitats you got, and then try and sort of target them all with your gear. So these big nets are really good. They have a big, we'll see it when we pull them up, but they have a net at the end, and they have a big wing. So the fish sort of hit the wing and follow the wing and then go into the net. So they're really good for big areas. And then these little bait traps are great for, you know, putting in amongst the, you know, the typer and here, and, you know, putting in those little gaps and seeing what's in there. So they're the two that we use for most of our surveys. When we get contractors to do our surveys, that's when we do, you know, the backpack electrofishing and the boat electrofishing. But when we're doing it just to, you know, go out to a site and see what's in there, this is the most common and easiest way.
And so with the big long one, you catch bigger fish in there?
You can, yeah. We don't have, because we've been doing some other projects with these nets recently, so we don't have excluders on them. So sometimes you'll put mesh on the ends, you know, with sort of that sort of size. So you exclude the big stuff. But we were doing some stuff on Axe Creek in Bendigo. We wanted to see everything that was in there, so we haven't, you know, put them back on yet. But yeah, you can sort of exclude them. And then there's also, so these are called small mesh pike nets or larval pike nets.
So yeah.
And then there's also coarse mesh. So they're like
The larva
large
and that
sort
can
of
get
ones.
out.
So they let all the small guys out and just keep the big ones in. So you can sort of use both depending on what you're looking for.
Exactly right. So this at the front here, this is a little wing that comes out from the entrance of the pike. So this is designed to sort of for the fish to swim
Yeah, they hit the net
up to this wing, and then follow this into the trap. So this is the opening now. So when you're retrieving the net, you lift this bit up first, and then not the other end bit, that bit first, and then the fish that have been trapped in there will slowly go down towards the end of it. And theoretically, we should get some fish. A couple of yabbies as well.
Well done. But is that the one you caught?
Yeah.
Ah, good. So how big was it?
Very similar in size to
To the little one.
Didn't fall in yet. That's a good thing. Still not out yet. Still got a few more nets to get yet, don't worry. Device, so the fish come in the front there, and then see this bit here? They kind of get into underneath it, but they don't usually swim back out it. They can swim out it, but usually they just sort of pretty comfy just to hang out inside it and just relax. A bit of fish in there by the looks.
Oh, look at that.
It's a carp gudgeon.
Yep. Yep.
So with these nets,
Another one there.
yeah, it seems like no matter how hard you take it, the worst thing's to come more.
Yep, so we'll have a good look. Do a couple of shaky shakes down and see what we can come up with. All good?
All good. I think that's just some shrink in this one.
Nice. I'm just going to put a net over here if anyone wants to have a quick look at it.
That's a little carp gudgeon, that one.
Carp Gudgeon.
Carp gudgeon, yeah, so a native gudgeon.
Oh, okay.
It's called carp gudgeon.
Oh, it's a pretty long sort of wing
It is, yeah.
section.
Can be quite frustrating actually when you've got a big long wing like this, because
Some of these,
it stretches out a long way and it's sort of, you got to keep going and keep going and keep going. It's like, oh, it's getting deep.
So you put that out into the current itself. So
Not all the
not
time.
always.
No. We mix it up. So
dry out.
most of these wetlands, obviously, there's not much current. It's only just a wetland.
Yeah.
But
Learn to live in puddles.
sometimes we have two wings that can go either side of the current, so that it basically just everything comes into the net.
Yeah.
But these single wings are much more user friendly. I think.
Look at that big one.
There's a big yabby in there, is there?
No, big fish, but that
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's the weather loach.
is it a weather loach? No, don't get too excited if it's a weather loach.
So that might be
Have
going
you got a
to sleep.
fish tank with you so you can sort of view them from the side? And
We don't, no.
Or
We've got a
even
couple of.
a tray
Yeah,
would
we've
be
got,
good.
we've got this.
it's one about that big.
We can pop
Oh,
this
yeah.
on.
I'll have a look in a sec. I just want to get rid of these yabbies if we got any more in there. I'm usually the yabby remover.
Why? Because you're not squealing at the same
I
time.
know.
No, it's just because there's a crowd. Normally he does.
Don't tell them that.
Field sheet and may as well get it down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
I didn't think we were going to do that today, but it looks like we are going to do that today, which is good.
Just
So
go with the flow.
no, we'll be able to get some actual data.
It's a wasted.
Yeah, well, it's more of a demonstration, this particular one, but we normally would take down all the data that we collect, so we might as well. I mean, we'll just use it as another sampling method. But generally speaking, when we do the sampling, we always do the same technique at each site. So we use 2 pike nets and 10 bait traps. So we've got 3 pike nets and 10 bait traps this time, so it's not scientifically robust, the sampling techniques. So
So
you understand?
that'll increase the volume
Yes,
of
yes.
sample. Yep.
So because we're varying the technique that we're using, so we've got more gear in, it's going to vary our results.
Do you leave them in for the same amount of time?
We do. So we normally just set them the night before.
Yeah.
So around the same time, just on dusk, or depending on where it is, and daylight saving, etc. And then we just retrieve them first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same. Yep, they're left in for the same time. And that's generally across the board. We use the same technique, same time, across everything that we do.
All right, so
I'll write it down.
I'm thinking let's you guys can do the work.
Get these guys
get the fish field guides and see if we can figure out which fish we got. Do some fish eyeing.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Will. Yeah, I reckon.
It's a Sunday. I don't want to work too hard.
I think that's really good. I mean, I've already done the removal of the yabbies, so that's my role completed.
So these the little blue fish field guides.
Yep.
You don't have one, go grab one, and then we'll see if we can figure out what we got.
And we'll give you some clues as you go along to make sure we're heading with a few fish. And then, depending on what they are, so we'll chuck one on the.
You're going to get the sheet.
So there you go. That is what we're looking for right there, guys.
And what is it?
That is a Pygmy Perch.
That's a Pygmy Perch. So that's awesome.
Well, just a minute.
So we're very excited about that already.
Pygmy Perch.
That one there.
First scoop, and what's that?
That is wild.
Which is the Pygmy Perch?
This one here.
That one.
So it's got a little red tail there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we shouldn't tell them which is the Pygmy Perch,
No,
should
we're
we?
supposed to. You were specified.
We're too excited.
It's all right. We'll forgive you because we were. Oh,
So that would have been one you released
that's
earlier.
what we're gonna know that.
Months ago.
So this is one we prepared earlier.
And so
So-
is it
So we won't leave
the
these
ones you
flopping
let
around
go?
too much.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
So we'll just give them a little bit
The
of
ones
water.
that you let-
So 45.
45.
45 was it, Sony?
Yeah, 45.
Yeah. So what we'll do with the more common
you guys can
species that we
put these back.
not as excited about, we won't measure all
Oh,
them.
sorry.
We'll count them.
Jeez.
For the Pygmy Perch, what we'll do is we'll measure all of them. Because what we want to do is every time we do a survey, we measure the first 30 and we try and get a sample of all the different sizes in there. And then we can, compare that data and see, if you've got lots of little ones, dominant little ones at one survey and then they're all dominant big ones in the next survey, you can see, make sure they've grown. So we'll measure all the Pygmy Perch. Hopefully there's...
This is great, guys. This is really exciting because, anyway, we don't want to go on about it too much. You don't want to be too nerdy or nerded up, but that's
Here you go.
such a good sign.
I'll hold this.
And we're really happy about that.
Yeah, that's the lot.
See if you can find us another one.
Oh,
So what we want to do is we want to put about half that amount of fish in there at any one time, because there's another Pygmy Perch. There's another one.
oh wow.
So we're going to
Yeah,
find.
look, those ones.
That's exactly
We want
right.
to measure those.
So I'll just get rid of this yabby and grab that shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't want to
We're
sample
not
those.
counting the shrimps and yabbies.
Let's
Look at those gorgeous ones.
Yeah, so you got different species here.
Okay. What's
So
that?
they're heavily
That's-
pregnant as well.
That's 10, 20, 35 mil, that one?
We don't need to measure these guys.
Okay.
Because these guys are a bit more common.
And what are they?
What are they?
What are they?
Oh,
Look
come
at
on. I'm lazy. So it's a carp gudgeon.
It's a carp gudgeon.
Carp Gudgeon.
Yeah.
Done.
So these are
Process of elimination.
one of the most common
very
small-bodied
happy.
fish
And
that we have.
You
They're
know what
part
we
of the
need now
goodies.
is a
These are
purple-spotted
goodies.
gudgeon. If we get one of them,
Yeah,
we may just party up for the
know,
rest of the Sunday.
wetlands, they just breed a lot wild in
Taking
wetlands.
photos of myself, man.
Selfies. You want to get a selfie with the fish?
So, and you can obviously see how pregnant these ones are as well. So, they're about to burst.
Wow. Beautiful.
And you haven't seeded, well, whatever.
No, these
Put
guys
them
do
in,
it
they just do it
themselves. So
themselves.
these
Yeah.
guys aren't under threat.
So they're very common. Yeah, really common, those guys.
Yeah, in wetlands they sort of go wild.
And what are you going to do with these now that we've taken them out of
We're going
They
to
go into there, so
put them in
they've
there. That's the life bucket, and then the blue one's the death bucket. So we won't get them mixed up.
Try and get that.
Yeah, please don't
Weather
put any good fish in here. Not good fish, but any non-alien fish in here.
So how many was that? There was 3, wasn't it?
3, that was. Yep.
3.
Yeah. Nice one.
Like
No,
yeah, well, it does help when you've got the...
quite a bit of work on the
Is that too many?
No, that's a good one, I think.
Is that a perch?
A pygmy perch?
A pygmy perch again?
Nailed it. Yep.
A pygmy perch?
That one there. So we'll measure that one.
The giveaway is the red tail, isn't it?
Yeah,
Still a little bit.
Yep. And they sort of
Oh, another one. Another two.
different.
And that one too?
Yeah, there's two there. Oh, is that another one? The little smaller one? No, I don't think that is actually.
Is that's a pregnant?
So that's.
So that one is.
What's the one with the red belly?
That one there is, I reckon.
Is
Oh
what?
no, that's a. That one there is a pygmy perch, and so is this one.
Right.
Yep. And
then these other ones. That one's a pygmy perch too.
Oh.
Oh,
What
nice
about the
work,
black
Lizzie.
one?
That's the one.
Black one's another carp gudgeon, I think.
What's-
And they're quite tolerant too. So they'll. We have
I
some.
reckon 40.
We have some fish that are really
40.
delicate.
44,
And
yeah.
they just die at the drop of a hat. But these guys are pretty good. So
Beautiful, another pygmy perch. So this is, this is pretty crazy for us because, we release them to all these wild sites and we sort of rarely pick them up
20,
again for a while.
40.
So what do you reckon that is?
40.
Like 40?
40 mil.
40 and then 4 carp gudgeon.
Is anybody writing that down? I mean, getting all wet.
So even like in the Goulburn and all these other sites where they release them, because wild sites, because they're so large, you really struggle to pick them up again. And then, look at that. That is a decent
That's
size
20,
one too.
40. That's nearly 50 mil.
Let me put it.
52.
Yeah, I reckon.
So that's the
If you put.
What's this gorgeous one?
What?
Is that any different than anything
No,
else?
it's
That
all,
one?
they're all the same. So they're carp gudgeon. This one's different.
That one?
That one there's different. Hint: we don't like that one.
Is that one we got a bigger one off?
No, it's one of the. It's a pesky little one though.
A pesky little one, that one.
It's a Gambo. Yep, exactly.
Gambo?
Yeah. So these guys have life. This guy has death. So this one's a new one.
New one.
So let's see if we can find out what this one is. Do you want to get? Might as well get rid of these.
It's got very wide.
I'll grab this.
Oh, you can see the carp gudgeon.
And you put that in there. So that was like another 5, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I reckon it could be that.
was that one?
Flathead.
Gudgeon? No.
No.
I think it is. So we'll have a look.
Looks very pregnant.
Yeah. So there's two. They're a little tricky to. So there's a flathead gudgeon, and then there's a dwarf flathead gudgeon. So I think you're right. I think it's that one.
At least 50
The way you
mil.
tell is by their mouth. So you can have a look at his mouth. That looks.
Whiskers?
So see how short the mouth is there compared to how long the mouth is on the dwarf.
Carp gudgeon.
So yeah, nailed it.
Carp gudgeon.
No, so that's
Sorry,
a flathead gudgeon.
A flathead gudgeon.
So see the photo there?
Oh,
So
yes.
there's a flathead gudgeon. If you
Really?
flip
See
the
the
page over,
flathead?
Lizzie. So there's also the dwarf flat-headed gudgeon. So these guys are a little less common. They're almost sort of endangered. So these need a bit of attention. But you can see it's got quite a long sort of mouth, and the mouth extends back past its
His
eye.
tail that,
Tail.
And
Look,
see
the
how his
tail's
tail-
really stripy.
and
Yeah.
it really sort of came up.
And then
'cause you can
this
see it on
guy,
the fins
see how
as
short the
well.
mouth is, and his mouth sort of only goes sort of just past his eye. So that's a key way to tell. So that's cool.
So this is what we were talking about before, guys. If we do get them, if they do well, they'll do quite well.
Yeah.
So we're very, very excited about this. All these recaptures.
Yep.
I don't know if you can
So that
tell,
one.
but
So it's, yep.
very, very happy with this.
What was the size range of the pygmy perch that you released here?
Most of them are adults
Oh, okay.
and about to spawn.
Oh, okay.
that size.
Yeah, about sort of. Oh, a lot of them were sort of that size as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's some big fish in that one.
How are we going for time?
About an hour.
So we've got
So we'll process as much as we can.
I'm surprised you don't get more carp.
They don't love these nets, to be honest. They don't
Too
For some
clever
reason,
them.
they just don't really cruise in there all that much. So we'll get rid of that.
Yeah, get rid of that now. Just put him on there so we can
Just make sure
examine him.
Make sure there's nothing else stuck to him. So, yep, that is a carp.
And that's a
then
roach.
That's a roach. We can get that out now as well. That's right. Yep. I got him. We'll quickly just process them.
What's that blue one? That one.
So these are Gambusia.
Oh yeah.
They're death.
Out so
That's
that they
another
dry a
one
little
there.
bit, but it also gives us an opportunity to
That's
check
death.
we've not missed anything.
Yep.
So if you guys want to break from having a look at that, can you check through the nets and just see if there's any fish that might be stuck in there that
Is that bucket just water? That one there?
we could save?
Yes.
Beautiful. You go bring that over.
You got some in there?
That big,
Oh yeah. The,
The black
big
dot.
spot.
Yep.
So when
Yep.
they get a bit bigger, they're really easy to see.
Is that one there too? Or not?
Oh, that's
yabby.
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 We'll put yabby.
Oh no, sorry, shrimps. I'm talking.
Yep.
Grabbing.
Yeah, so you can see they stand out really once you get your eye in.
What the
So
gambusi?
yeah, that's a
So
Gambusia.
that one's a Gambusia.
Gambusia, yep, perfect. I thought I saw another one. Yeah, so he's that little guy there as well. The rest of them are shrimp and carp gudgeons. Probably only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10.
Oh no, that's just pretty.
There's millions of tiny shrimp in there.
Yeah, it's so productive this sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of weather loaches
wow.
in there.
Yeah, look at them all.
Oh, he jumped back in.
Is there anything cool?
I'll have a good look through this one.
So what's this? Well, we're counting these ones.
Pig?
Oh, there'll be heaps of pigs.
It's a couple. It's a couple.
Red tail here.
Red tail.
Pygmy perch.
Right.
They got that distinctive red tail, haven't they?
Yeah. 20, 40,
yeah.
45.
45. Lovely.
Distinctive red tail and the beautiful ornamental stripe of red on the top fin.
Oh, that looks good when you see the fins out.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
beautiful, aren't they?
It's just a carp gudgeon. But nice colours on it, isn't it?
Nice colour.
Not just a carp gudgeon.
Sorry.
It's a carp gudgeon.
Get these guys out.
There's another little red tail.
Red
Yeah,
tail?
that's one. Good spot.
20, 40.
I think our biggest success was environmental change. Very big temperature drops and then temperature raises. So we started them at like 17 and then we shot them all the way up to almost 30 and then we couldn't stop them. They just kept breeding. Yeah. So I had to shut down the temps. Otherwise we'd end up too many. But we've had the best success with the purple spots. But now we're kind of moving on to the glassfish and the Murray River rainbows. But Murray River rainbow's been a bit of a challenge. Normally they're prolific, but yeah, trying. It's just all perfect water quality, constant water testing, and yeah.
And they breed on the, like they're just laying eggs on the...
So we offer them terracotta or slate.
Yeah.
Always lay on the glass.
Yeah.
Lay on the glass or on the silicon on the side. It's a pain because then I have to take the pair out once they've bred. So I'll always take the female out, leave the male with the eggs, and then once they start to hatch, I'll take the male out and then move the fry out as well. Yeah, just to stop any predation.
Yeah, fantastic.
And so do you,
How many have you guys given us now? You've been pumping them out, haven't you?
Oh, we've done a few hundred perchlet. That'll take us up to about almost 1,000 gudgeons, and then
Yep, perfect.
now we're doing the rainbows. So,
Yeah.
but it's been kind of a slow process. This has taken about 2 years, just getting the funding and building up everything.
Yeah, and now you've got a little section devoted to...
Yeah, it's just a big wetland section. That's got all of our fish, the messages, and
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's been doing that for ages.
can the public go and see
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
yeah, so the public can go up, and then it's all like a glassed lab, so you can go in and see us working and seeing breeding and moving the fry and grading the fry. And,
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
I've actually never been to the aquarium, so I must go.
Yeah, we went down there to check it out.
It's all upgraded now. We've got big live food
Has
vats
it?
now. We've got
Oh,
all green
fantastic.
water and stuff in there. So
We'll have to get the news back in to do
Yep.
more
Yeah,
interviews and another little segment. That was great.
but yeah, we've got a display across that. I'm trying to convince them to do a partnership with to do North Central CMA and then have what you guys do and then like where the fish are released. So
Yeah.
having all the species in a
Fantastic.
wetlands theme take.
Yeah, and that'll sort of give everyone a real update of what's
Yeah.
happening with the project and how it's progressing. So yeah, well, thank you very much for coming all this way to deliver our lovely little fish, or your lovely little fish, which is now going to be released.
Yep.
Hopefully
So-
we'll have more by the end of this year as well.
Will you?
I'll
Okay,
have
great.
We'll have
Spotted
way more.
gudgeon.
We got
Way
a few
more.
hundred rainbows at the moment.
Yep.
They're just almost ready.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, Will was saying that. Yeah, that's great. Spreading the risk with our breeders. So yesterday we released some purple spots from another breeder that we've got, so Middle Creek, out at the Whitten wetlands, and now we're going to release some from the aquarium today, which is, yeah, it's a similar brood stock that originally came, but obviously we're spreading the risk and hoping to get some little bit of different adaptations from the different breeders. So it's great.
It should be good. They're all mixed genetics too.
Yep.
Hopefully they're stronger fish.
They got that genetic diversity.
How do you get genetic diversity when it was almost disappeared?
Mark.
It's just from other people. So us, other people, once you spread them, you
Yep.
get that mix. But
Yep, so the original brood stock have got similar genetics, obviously, or depending on where we got them from in third reading. So even the actual brood stock that we collected was still genetically diverse enough to create these sort of populations. That was one of our real risks at the start. So we did the analysis on that and worked out that yes, we had enough genetic diversity. So I mean, occasionally we'll get, like we talked about before, like a bit of a weird one. It's sort of got a bit of a genetic deformity, and we try to remove some of those from the system if we can and get that out. But no, we've had some great success in our breeding habitats as well, in our little surrogate wetlands. Michael Graham McDonald in particular has been a legend in that space, hasn't he? Got a lot out of it. So
Yeah, some purple spots here. You could potentially put olive perch lid as well. So there's other sort of really cool looking threatened fish. Being extinct for locally extinct for decades up around here, and then not quite at that level. Don't have the numbers yet, but that'll be another one that we could put in here as well.
yeah,
Eventually.
we've got them in one of our dog parks in Bendigo actually. So that was your one, absolutely. And we did a recap. We've got a couple of recaptures, but we haven't seen any recruiting yet. But I reckon we'll get out there. Yeah, they've put on a bit of weight.
Yeah, we only got one and put on size, and then we're going to check it probably January, March.
Yeah, see how they're going. So this time of year, hopefully, they'll be doing their thing, and we'll start to see some results early next year.
ours are looking promising at the moment as well.
Great, yeah.
Full of hydrated eggs, so hopefully
Yep.
get some spawning.
And can't be happier with the results from the Pygmy Perch recaptures today. Would have loved to have gotten some really small ones and some really massive ones, but the amount that we've got tells us that they're doing quite well in here. So you could probably imagine if we did that same sampling everywhere, if we got the same amount of fish that we got today, how many we'd have in here. So
There's thousands in there now.
there should be, like theoretically, if you kind of,
How long were those nets in for?
overnight.
Okay.
So we put them in last night about 5:30, 6:30, something like that,
Yep.
and then removed them when you guys were here this morning.
That's amazing amount that we caught.
Yeah. Oh, we're
And they weren't here
really happy.
before.
So no, they're
They
directly,
They weren't
we've been
here,
putting them in, yeah.
Before September, they weren't here.
Now look at that.
And now look at that. Yeah,
And
What a
so,
successful
so what you're
day
saying is
we've had.
those are the ones you
exactly.
And lay a
So,
lot of wood.
so it's such good results. We're going
Yeah,
to
that's
walk
it,
away
yeah,
today
that's
with
the
a
line.
big smile on our face. I mean, this is the first time that we've
Yeah.
recaught these species in this
We're
wetland.
getting,
So
we've got another.
it's hugely significant.
at the dog park at
And
Melbourne.
really,
So
theoretically,
that's- I
once
think that's
they're
gonna be
kind
the
of
hardest one.
doing their thing like they are now, we can,
Some of them in
from what we
maybe
found, they should look after. They should be fine. They should continue to persist. There's no reason they won't.
So will you come back next year or keep coming back?
So we will, yeah. So we've also obviously got these purple spots going in now. So we'll definitely come back and do some monitoring of those. So maybe next year when you guys come back to do this again next year, you'll find similar numbers of purple spots as
What
well.
size should they be by then? 10?
Oh, hopefully we'll get all different sizes. But yeah, if they're
Well,
10
they're
or
all going in this size, so they should all grow the same weight, shouldn't they? Or
well,
not?
they'll breed. So we'll get small ones that have the
They'll
baby
breed within
ones.
12 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
Within
you're
12
going to do
months.
this thing every year? do you reckon?
I think so. Yeah, we've done it for a couple of years at least.
Just for display.
And I think it's gone pretty well. So I don't see why not. If we continue to get a new species of fish every year, we should.
Coming and getting excited about it.
Yeah, that's right. So we are pretty excited. So it's good news. It's really good news. So.
Let's release. I've got to go shortly.
Yeah, so do we. So how are we going to do the release, guys? How do you want to do that?
These three.
No. In you go.
All right. Yeah, I just want to get in the water.
I did get forced to do the PR.
Yeah, no stress. Yeah, whatever you reckon is the best. Yeah, Spot would chuck us out another bucket if you can, and we might do one together. Oh, if you want to just get that, yeah. Sorry, making you guys do all the work here. Don't worry.
You want a bucket? Yeah.
So how many buckets are there? 4. And here's another one.
Yep, the other one.
Feeling photogenic. It's always cheesy, isn't it? It's just pure cheese. That's all right. We do what we do. There's the emblem of the bucket.
Yes, that's what I wanted to see.
Alright,
Thank
you
you
got
very
that?
much.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Right, now let's put the bait trap in and see if we can catch him again.
Beautiful.